In 2019, in a 2019 wrongful termination suit in which her lawyer did not request an amount for the injustice, the jury found in favor of Rodríguez in a unanimous decision. I can't imagine the courage it took for her. So this is the beginning of her crusade to protect women and unborn children. Her conversion started when she realized that no women walk into Planned Parenthood clinics happy, and they do not leave happy. Please help me welcome the courageous Mayra Rodríguez.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Muchas gracias por estar aquí. Mi historia es como la de otros inmigrantes que llegó a este país buscando una vida más segura, porque en nuestro país no la teníamos. Llegué con una visa, esa visa se expiró y me encontré sin documentos para trabajar. Planned Parenthood me contrató y lo tomé como la bendición más grande de mi vida. Aman a las mujeres y aman a los inmigrantes. Pero en el momento en el que la verdad salió, atacaron exactamente ese estatus con el que me contrataron, creyendo que con eso yo iba a tener miedo para enfrentarlos. Mi mensaje es para que nadie tenga miedo, para que nadie crea que no puede. Con la gracia de Dios encontré una persona como Tim Casey que creyó en mí. Él es mi abogado, al que dijo: tú tienes derechos y los vamos a defender. Y duramos 2 años en una batalla donde fue doloroso, fue difícil, pero ganamos. Y ahora yo quiero que la gente siga un ejemplo de no tener miedo. Que sepan que no porque somos inmigrantes nos vamos a quedar callados. Que también tenemos derechos. Y que las mujeres y los inmigrantes no son tan especiales para Planned Parenthood como ellos decían. Ahora voy a decir algo en inglés. Thank you so much for being here. I know a lot of you had prayed outside of where I worked for years, and I thank you. I want you to know that your prayers work. That if it wasn't for people like Lynn and Father Klein and Sheila that were there for me and were praying for me all this time. Father Klein's group prayed outside of my place of work for many, many days before we closed down and left a Divine Mercy card on my car. And I have taken that Divine Mercy image with me everywhere I go. It's right here with me. Because it is thanks to the divine mercy of God that He put me in the path of one of His stronger soldiers like Tim Casey, my lawyer, that believed in me and defended me. Nobody thought that I could take on Planned Parenthood because they're so strong. Some people ask me, did you ever doubt yourself? Did you think you were gonna lose? I said that didn't cross my mind. You know, I will read and pray to the Psalm 18 every morning before I showed up to the courtroom and watch all the people that were with me, my employees, my friends, go against me in that chair. And nobody thought we will beat them because they're so strong. But we did. And now I'm standing here thanks to all the prayers that I know a lot of you put out for me. And I want to thank you. Thank you so much for not giving up. It took Father Klein, Lynn, and Sheila 17 years for me to walk out of there. But I did. And I hope I get to speak to you again soon. So what I'm gonna do now is talk to you about a really good friend of mine. All Evie Johnson ever wanted to do was help women. This is what led her into the doors of Planned Parenthood. However, she experienced a change of heart while participating in an ultrasound-guided abortion procedure. Today, Abby travels the globe sharing her story and educating the public, advocating for the unborn, and reaching out to the abortion clinic staff like myself to get them out of the industry. I am grateful to be one of the 550 former employees that Abby has handed a hand to and her ministry. And I am very proud to call her my friend. Thank you.
Mayra, I haven't even started yet. 10 years ago, I walked out of Planned Parenthood, and I'm a really ugly crier too, but it's about to get ugly. 10 years ago, I walked out of Planned Parenthood, and I walked out alone, and I had nobody who I could look at and who could look back at me and say, I know exactly where you've been because I've been there too. And 7 years ago, I thought that there had to be more people like me. I thought that there had to be people out there who really just didn't want to work in the abortion industry anymore, they just weren't proud of what they were doing and who they had become, and that they wanted to leave and that they wanted help. And I thought that there had to be people out there like that. There's like 3,500 abortion clinic workers in the United States, and surely I can get one. Surely I could get maybe 5 or 10. And I went to people in the pro-life movement. I went to leaders in the pro-life movement, and I told them my idea. And they looked back at me and they said, Abby, that will never work. They will never come to you because some people are too far gone. And I looked at them and I said, but what about me? I wasn't too far gone. What about me? And they said, well, you're different. And I said, no, I'm not. I was one of the worst among them, and here I am. And so nobody believed that it would happen, and I started it anyway. I did it anyway, and I didn't know if people would come, but they did. And they didn't come one at a time. They came 5 at a time. They came 10 at a time. Entire clinics were drained of their abortion staff. And I finally had people who were like me. People who didn't look at me and would say, oh, I can't imagine ever working in the abortion industry. They were looking at me and saying, I worked in the abortion industry. I know exactly what you did, and praise God for his redemption. But I think, to my knowledge, this is the first time I've ever actually been introduced by one of those workers that we helped. really special to me. And to anyone who is here because you're here as a skeptic, because you want to prove us wrong, because you're here in protest, because you're here, you think we aren't really pro-life, let me tell you something. I welcome you into this movement anytime you're ready. You are welcome here, even if you're not with us yet. It's actually not how I planned to start out my talk. I planned to start out my talk by saying that I love Ryan Baumberger and his family so much, and I wanted to say that you have one of the best governors in the country. And I wanted to say that I'm jealous because my favorite bishop in the whole wide world resides right here in Phoenix. So that's moved to Phoenix. Guys, I married a Texan. We are never leaving Texas. Okay. And I wanted to say that I love Ryan's story so much. Ryan has been such a powerful force in my life. He and his wife, and Ryan in particular, because as he talked about being adopted, we also have an adopted son. And our adopted son is biracial, and it's, you know, he's being raised by people who are super white, and it's, you know, it's a tricky world today, and I want to make sure that I'm raising him the right way, and Ryan has been such a mentor to our family in that way, and I'm always recommending him as a speaker, and I talk about his story, and I say, yeah, you should see his family picture. It's like a mini pro-life UN. I love it. So, you know, our goal in the pro-life movement always is conversion, right? That has to be our goal. It can't just be about saving one baby, because if it's just about saving one baby in exchange for diapers or exchange for something, then that becomes very transactional. And we in the pro-life movement are in the business of being transformational. We want to see people transformed, and transformed in the name of Christ. Transformed to be the men and women who God has called them to be. And so that's what we're about in the pro-life movement. So we are about the conversion of women who are in crisis, who feel overwhelmed, who feel like abortion is their only option. See, the whole idea of being pro-choice is such a lie. No one walks into an abortion facility and says, I am so excited about exercising my right to choose today. Women walk into abortion facilities because they feel like they have no other choice, because they are out of options. And we are here to say there is an option, there are resources, we know where they are, we know who they are, and I'm not just going to give you a referral list and tell you to start calling phone numbers. I'm going to live life with you. I am going to be there, whatever it takes to support you and your family. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be there, because it's not just your baby that's worth it. You are are worth it. And we have to be for the conversion of hearts for the men involved. Right? I mean, to my knowledge, there is only one woman in history who conceived without the physical presence of a man. Some of you are like, who is it? One of the primary antidotes to abortion in our society today is fatherhood. And we must empower men to be fathers, to know how to be fathers. We must encourage marriage in our society, encourage husbands. Encourage families. God gave us a model for the family. He gave us a model of the Holy Family. That is what we are to strive to in our own families. Marriage matters. Fatherhood matters. And men, you matter. And I am tired of living in a world today where secular feminism has run amok and has told you men to sit down and be silent. I am tired of living a lie that says that women can be everything that men are. Women cannot be what men are. We are not meant to be like men. We are meant to be women. I am tired of the principle of feminism that tells men that their opinions have no bearing on the life of their children in the womb. And I am sorry to the men who have been convinced that their voices don't matter because of feminism. I am sorry. I am sorry that you feel like you have been silenced. All we hear about today is women's empowerment. Well, let me tell you something. As a woman, I'm ready to empower the men that stand beside us. Real men protect life. Real men value life. And I'm just going to go ahead and declare that 2020 is the year of the man. It's going to be a big year, y'all. We got an election, and it's the year of the man. Men, we need your voices in this movement. Don't let any woman tell you to be quiet. Don't let any woman tell you to sit down and to shut up. We need your voices because every single woman, I don't care if they shave their legs or not. I don't care if they have hairy armpits. I don't care what kind of issues they have going on in their lives. Every single woman on this planet was made to be protected and cared for by men. Every single woman wants a knight in shining armor. And the most attractive men I know are men who love life. Guys, we're about conversion. That's what it's about. Transformation. Transformation for abortion clinic workers. Transformation for our politicians who we disagree with or who disagree with us.
Yes.
I say that nobody's beyond conversion, and I really do mean it. Nobody. If you believe that anybody is beyond the powerful touch of God's hand, then we don't serve the same God. Because the God that I serve, He is in the business of miracles. And I'm pretty sure that the God that I serve loves a good conversion story. But speaking of politicians, not really of politicians, but of politics, a few things have come up over the past few days. We found out that 2 days ago, we found out that Planned Parenthood is going to be putting in $45 million toward electing radical pro-abortion candidates. Now, please understand, these people that they're trying to elect, the people who stand up there on the Democratic debate floor, every single one of them supports abortion up until the day of birth. Every single one of them. There is no pro-life option for any of us when it comes to the Democratic presidential election. None of those Democratic candidates support life in any way, shape, or form. And Planned Parenthood is going to dump $45 million into getting someone like that elected. And we all looked at that and we said, oh no, that's terrible, that's bad. And then Susan B. Anthony List, a legislative pro-life organization, said, oh yeah? You got 45 million? We got 52 million. We are no longer going to be bullied by organizations like Planned Parenthood. We are not going to take it anymore. The abortion industry has become more brazen year after year. Abortion, the only service that is continually on the rise for Planned Parenthood. Almost every other legitimate healthcare service has been on a serious decline over the past 10 years. You know those cancer screenings?
Yeah.
That they're always talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, over the past 10 years, those cancer screenings have dropped over 70% at Planned Parenthood. You see, they're not about women's health care. They are about abortion.
Yes, right.
Abortion is a product that they are selling. It is the only product that is able to sustain their gross revenue of $1.6 billion last year. The majority of that came from abortion. And the rest of it came from us, from our tax dollars. I am here to tell you, I will never stop fighting. I will never back down from pro-life legislative causes until Planned Parenthood and the abortion industry receives not one dime of our tax money. They want to do abortions, they need to go fund it themselves. But it does not need to be on our dime. Never. Guys, we have some good news though. Really good news. Because our goal in the pro-life movement is not just to make abortion illegal, but it is to make abortion unthinkable. So that a woman would never even consider darkening the door of an abortion facility. And we are winning on those fronts. In the past 10 years, 265 Planned Parenthood facilities have closed. And we are closing more and more every single year. And we will continue to close them until there are none. Abortion clinic workers are leaving. Over 550 have come through, and then there were none. Those 550 have helped to close down 21 abortion facilities. Pregnancy resource centers are on the rise. They're expanding services. They're helping more women than ever. They're bringing more women to Christ than ever. More women are choosing life than ever before. And I think one of the most encouraging things that I see in the pro-life movement is youth. I go to the March for Life every year. I'll be there in DC next week, where it will not be this temperature. Some of you are like wearing gloves as if it is cold here. Arizonians, this is not cold. And every year I go to the March for Life and I look out at the crowd, and the thing that I notice is that the crowd seems to be getting younger and younger every year. It's actually making me feel a little self-conscious. I'm starting to feel a little old. I'm wondering, do I need Botox? Am I there yet? I don't know. But anyway, thank you. Thank you very much. You know, a few years ago, the president of the National Abortion Federation went to the March for Life as a spy. And not like she had to spy. I mean, come on. But anyway, she went as a spy. And she wrote an article about it. And in that article, she said, I kept looking around and they were just all so young. I am so encouraged by the youth in the pro-life movement. I am so encouraged by what's happening in your schools, in your peer groups, in your communities of young people. Guys, you are changing this culture from one of death to life. Another thing, the last thing I'll say is that I am so incredibly encouraged by just, how do I even say this? People are so emboldened in the pro-life movement right now. And it's making me so excited. People are no longer afraid to speak truth. People are no longer afraid to offend with the truth of Christ. For so long, it was like we were sitting around like, well, I don't know if I want to say anything about abortion. I don't want to offend anybody. Guys, the people who are against God, the people who are on the other side of these issues, they are not in the least bit concerned about offending you. In fact, they revel in your offense. But for so long, we've been sitting here not knowing what to say, not wanting to hurt anyone's feelings. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but guys, here is the reality. People who hate the truth will always be offended by it. That does not ever mean that we stop speaking the truth. So I'm excited. I'm excited by what I see. I'm excited by the unity that I'm seeing in the pro-life movement. People building each other up, collaborations being made, people loving each other, because that's really, guys, that's what this movement has got to be about. It's got to be about love and coming together for one common cause, and that is to uphold the dignity and the sanctity of every human life, born and unborn. I'm so honored to be here with all of you today. I'm so excited to be standing among all of you, so many of you giants in this movement, people who have been doing this work, pro-life work, since before I was even born. A lot of you, I mean, I'm looking at you, a lot of you have been doing this since before I was born. I'm so excited about what we are accomplishing in the pro-life movement. And I'm even more excited about the accomplishments that are to come. And I'm most excited about the day of victory that is coming, when abortion will truly be unthinkable. Thank you all so much, and God bless you.